welcome back. We're talking to Dr. OFloyd, who's the interim president at Tennessee State University. And Dr. Floyd, before we had our break, we were talking about the enrollment at Tennessee State University. And I think one of the important elements or an ingredient in that enrollment figure will be financial support and financial aid for students. Perhaps you could give us some information relative to financial aid and financial support for those who might be interested in applying to Tennessee State University this coming fall.
Yes, I've just had a meeting, and we are going to use media blitz. We're also going to start contacting students who have not made commitments in all the communities across the state. One of the things in recruiting students to TSU at this late date, knowing that we really need students, and we're running, say, 6,500 or just about where we were last year, is the financial aid incentive. We do have many different packages of financial aid. One thing I've tried to do is to go across campus and find out all of the aid programs for students and try to centralize it and bring it into where we'll know what's available, what's been committed. We still have some financial aid, federal and state, available to students. We also have other race, which is for white students to come to TSU. That money, quite a bit of it, is still available. So that money is available for students to apply for, and we are mainly looking for academically talented students so that will help out our retention rate. I would say at this time we still have financial aid available for students to come to TSU.
Now, what about the projected cuts in the federal budget? Do you think that that'll impact upon your ability to serve more students later on? What effects do you think it might have?
Talking with Mr. Wheaton today, I've learned that the Graham-Rudman proposal, which was supposed to cut federal aid to schools like TSU substantially, will not affect us the next school year. We have the same amount of money that we had. So the federal funds is really not the big issue with us. I think the main thing is finding the students and letting them know the quality educational program that's available at Tennessee State University. Tennessee State University has had a tradition of having good programs. It's not that we can't improve on those programs. I'd like to see vast improvement made in the programs to bring quality education into the TSU family. By working together, I think that we can assure the community, I'm talking about both black and white students, that TSU is a good place for them to come to.
Now, what is the nature, Dr. Floyd, of the other race money that you're talking about that might be available?
Okay, the nature of the other race money was brought about with THEC and the legislature, in which we're saying that schools under desegregation plan, I picked one I came from, say MTSU, we are to recruit other race students which is black. TSU is to recruit other race students which is white. This money is made available so that each school which does not have this identity can attract students of the other race to that school. Predominantly black school, white students. Predominantly white school, black students.
And so quite a bit of that money is available at Tennessee State University?
Yes, it is.
Very good. I think another problem, well, not a problem, but I think another point of some discussion in the community has been the search for a permanent president at Tennessee State University. And of course, being as close as MTSU, you're undoubtedly familiar with many of the things that happen in reference to that search prior to coming to Tennessee State. I'd like to raise a couple of questions about that search, if I may. First of all, we'd like to have some your idea or your views in reference to the appointment of the consulting firm, and what do you think that accomplished, and possibly your attitude in reference to whether or not you would be willing to accept the position of president of Tennessee State University on a permanent basis. According to the press, I think the chancellor has indicated that he is a person who never says never, and so all of these things I think are very important, and I'd like to talk about some of those things.
Okay. First, let me answer about the interim president being president. The board has passed a policy, and I'm still going with that policy, and the policy is that the interim cannot be an applicant for the presidency of Tennessee State University. Now, I'd have to wait until that bridge becomes available to speak to whether I would accept it or not. I've only been there 2 weeks. TSU family may not want me, but I want you to know that right now I am not an applicant, and according to policy I cannot be an applicant for the job at TSU. So I wouldn't go any further with it. But as far as the search committee for the president of Tennessee State University, my job has come to run the university, to not occupy the seat, but to find out what the concerns are, work with the university community, look at its long-range and short-range goals, and bring that university community together as one team to move it ahead, so when the next president comes, then it would be moving closer to its goals than it was before I came. Understand that the search was halted, and they brought in a consulting firm. This is not new in the business of presidencies today. Business corporations use that first. They use private corporations to search for executives for them because they have probably an available source of individuals that would make such a shift. As I said, I wouldn't want to speak positive or negative about it since I'm not a part of that search and I'm not playing a role in that search at this time.
Very good. We've got about 6 or 7 more minutes.